Hello Warrior fans, welcome to another edition of Warriors Weekly. I'm Knock.
And I'm Melissa, and we're here today to bring you the latest updates and news on WLC athletics.
On today's show, we'll have highlights from the women's basketball team's run to the NCAA tournament. As well, I'll be speaking to head baseball coach Dave Reinerman about their trip to Florida and their expectations this season.
And I'll be talking to head softball coach Rachel Keel about their trip to Florida and their expectations for the season. But first, let's go to Adam Heinzen to get the latest scores for news around WLC.
The Warriors baseball team is off to their best start in school history with a 12-7 overall record, including a 4-0 mark for first place in the Northern Athletics Conference. The Warriors have swept Dominican University and MSOE on the way their first place early on in the conference standings. WLC has matchups coming with Rockford and Benedictine this weekend as they look to continue their early season conference success. The past 3 weeks, a Warrior has been recognized by the Northern Athletics Conference in their weekly awards. Last week, sophomore Tyler Shane was honored as Position Player of the Week, and the 2 weeks prior, freshman Alex Raber has been named Pitcher of the Week by the conference. After playing 10 games during its spring break trip in Florida, the Warriors softball team opened with 6 straight conference games at home at Warrior Field. The Warriors are still in search of their first conference win, but we'll look for that this weekend when they hit the road with contests at Marian University on Saturday and Edgewood College on Sunday afternoon. The Warriors men's and women's track and field teams are 4 weeks into their outdoor season of competition. After competing at UW-Whitewater this weekend, the Warriors will return home to Robbie Stadium next week to host their first outdoor meet of the year at Robbie Stadium. Their championship portion of the season begins April 30th also at Robbie Stadium when they host the private college championships. The following week, the Warriors will compete in the Northern Athletics Conference Outdoor Track and Field Championships May 6th and 7th at Benedictine University in Lisle, Illinois. On the women's side of things, the Warriors seem to be breaking records each and every week, as also receiving conference honors. The last 3 weeks, a Warrior has been recognized by the Northern Athletics Conference. Alyssa Schumacher, a freshman from Johnson Creek, Wisconsin, has carried home honors each of the past 2 weeks, while junior Katie Schomer from Fort Atkinson earned an award the week prior.
Thanks, Adam. Alyssa, do you know why I love springtime in Wisconsin?
Because it's warmer weather and it reminds you of being back home?
That is a very good point, but it's opening day for Major League Baseball, and it's time for WLC Spring Sports to get underway. I had a chance to talk to head baseball coach Dave Reinerman about his team and their trip to Florida and what their expectations are this season.
Coach Reinerman, thanks for joining us today here on Warriors Weekly. Coach, can you tell us about your trip to Florida for you and your team?
Yeah, it was a lot of good things came from the trip. First thing that comes to mind is the weather down in Fort Myers. You know something about that warm Florida weather. It was between 75 and 85 and sunny every day, which was awesome. Baseball aspect, we came back with a record of 4-5, not what we were expecting or hoping for. We ended up, the guys were 4-2 at one point, which was, we were off to a good start, and then we dropped our last 3 games, which was disappointing. We played some good teams, but teams that we expect to be able to compete with and take some games, and we didn't down there, but definitely some good things to build upon for this upcoming season, and some areas that showing that we need to improve if we want to be the type of team that we can be.
Well, Coach, you're absolutely right. I do miss that weather. But can you talk about those strengths and weaknesses and the things you need to improve on? Can you elaborate on those things?
Sure. Some areas, I guess, starting with the strengths. We had some good, solid starting pitching. Some games where the starting pitching really carried us and it was dominating. Another strength was the guys' ability to come back in some of those other games where we didn't have that type of pitching. But the guys battled, they persevered, were able to win a couple of games in extra innings, and a couple of games that we came up short. We came from behind to make it a close game or tie the game up. Some areas of weaknesses. One is our defense was pretty solid for most of the trip, but there were times where our defense for an inning where we had a bad inning and things snowballed on us, and that led to us losing that game. And also our hitting was a little disappointing towards the end of the trip. We faced good solid pitching, but we weren't able to put together the type of quality at bats that we can. You know, in those types of games, facing good pitching, we're not going to score in double-digit runs. We're not going to get 9, 10, 11 runs. But our guys, and we need to find a way to be able to get 4, 5, 6 runs, to be able to give us ourselves a chance to win those games.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, can you tell us about your roster? You have senior leadership, and you also have some very good newcomers. Can you tell us about your roster?
Sure. We have, first starting with the seniors, we have a group of 5 seniors, very quality players and great young men. We start out with Matt Lang, one of our top pitchers, also a good hitter. Justin Barkhurst is our starting shortstop. He hits number 3 for us. We have Josh Farrell, a 4-year catcher or 4-year starting catcher behind the plate, also one of our top hitters. Ethan Geis is our starting center fielder. Ryan Polash, our starting left fielder. So as you can tell, very talented group of players, guys we count on the field, but also guys that we count on off the field for their leadership, for their direction. So that's really a core for our team. And then the newcomers that you mentioned, we do have a nice group. We have a nice group of sophomores who have a year under their belt now, and then we have a group of freshmen and some incoming players, first-year players that are doing very well. We have Alex Raver, a freshman, pitched very well for us down in Florida. Josh Smith, a first-year player of our program, really had 2 very solid pitching performances. Some of those young guys too. We expect them to be their starters at their position almost every game. And then some of the other younger guys that give us some good depth and give us some versatility.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, can you tell us about what your expectations are for the rest of the season now going into your conference play?
Sure. What we expect from this season, really from day one, our expectations is to win 20 games this year. And we're excited about that goal. We know that we can accomplish that goal. That would be a school record, but something that we are capable of doing, and we have our set sight on that. We have 4 down and 6 to go.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we wish you luck on your upcoming season as you get ready to go into conference play, and thank you for joining us today.
Sure. Thanks, Zach.
Well, let's head back to the studio with Alyssa.
I spoke with head coach Rachel Keel about their softball trip to Florida and what their expectations are for the rest of the season. Coach Keel, how was your trip to Florida over spring break?
It went really well. We had a great time. The weather was beautiful, 85 degrees and sunny. We got 10 games in, played a lot of good competition, and the girls had a great time bonding as a team as well. So it was a lot of fun.
After your first week of play, what do you feel the strengths of are your team?
I think we did a great job producing offensively. In the 10 games, we had 36 runs, which is probably the most we've scored on the spring trip. I think that we also did a good job hitting some long balls. We had 3 home runs. 2 different girls had 3 home runs. We had a couple triples and doubles as well. So I feel like the bats are going in the right direction, and that's probably our strongest point right now.
With a young team, what are your expectations of the season, and what do you feel are some areas that you can improve on?
Well, it's kind of ironic you asked me that question because on Monday we sat down as a team to kind of assess where we're at with different things that they see can be really improved upon, things that they did really well. So some things we want to work on have to do a lot with defense. We talked about setting some goals, and their ultimate goal is to get to the conference tournament. So some things that are going to support that along the way are to only allow a team 21 outs defensively, and then we also want to have really good quality at-bats. So sometimes teams focus a lot on batting average, and we want to move away from that a little bit and just have really good quality at-bats, hit the ball hard, see a lot of pitches, and go deep in the pitch count, those sorts of things. So those are some things we're working on as we start conference play next week.
Thank you for your time and good luck this season.
All right, thanks, Alyssa.
Back to the studio with Knock.
Well, that's about all the time we have for this edition of Warriors Weekly.
We will continue to bring you news and scores from all of WLC sports.
To end today's show, we'll end with highlights of the women's basketball team's run to the NCAA tournament. We'll see you here next time on Warriors Weekly.